Hello, welcome back to another Toyota 3.4 swap video. Last night we finished building the downpipe to the muffler. I still have to cut the second O2 sensor, but then we got some rain and a little bit of snow outside. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's tomorrow's better. Today's project, I wanna go through the engine bay one more time. Just make sure I have everything plugged in, checked in, etc, etc. I did went ahead and tighten up the power steering, filled that up with fluid already. I'm also gonna go ahead and bleed my clutch slave cylinder because I did went ahead and install a new clutch slave cylinder just for the peace of mind. So right now I have to bleed that. There's a one-man system, bleeding system that I made. It's a DIY, super cheap. I'll show you guys in a bit. Tomorrow we have the cam sensor and the radiator coming in. So new radiator, and we bought a new cam sensor off of eBay. So that's the only thing that's left to get this engine complete. And then on top of that, I did went ahead and just kept my battery on a trickle charger. It is a brand new battery, but I kept it on a trickle charger because it's been out for almost a week now. So the pipe is down there. And then what else do we have? The other thing that I'm doing is, the two important thing is just bleed the slave cylinder today and then do the ECU box. So I'll show you guys the ECU box in a bit, and then I just want to go through the engine one more time because I'm very OCD about this. I want to make sure I have everything right and in the right section, because sometimes there's so much that you just kind of lose your mind. I also did connect my battery just to test my lights out, and I found out that my LED lights, the headlights, I do need to buy a wire harness for it, so I have one on order. So the LED lights aren't working right now, but it's all good. That's not important stuff. Right here is the clutch slave cylinder. That's the master. That's the master where you put .3 fluid, brake fluid. This fluid here looks pretty old, so we'll go ahead and suck a little bit out, and then put some new one in, and then we'll go ahead and pump it up. Pretty easy to do. We'll go ahead and flush the brakes. Front brake pads are kind of half worn down, so I do want to put some new brake pads, but we'll do that once we get it running and stuff like that. But once I put new brake pads, then I'll go ahead and flush the brake cylinder as well, because that fluid looks pretty bad. Your brake fluid should be nice and nice and vegetable oil looking, brown and really nice, that crispy color. Everything looks super sweet. So here is what we're doing. The ECU box is, now this is a custom style. This is John's style. This is what John did for his 3.4, and John, he's the guy who wired up my harness. You guys can't just do this unless you guys plan this ahead when you're doing the wire harness, because you have to shorten it. So for us, this harness is short right here, and this box right here is the perfect size, and it's just gonna go right here. It's a very tight fit. You don't have to screw it down or anything, but it's just gonna hang out like that. So that's what it looks like. Now we do have to cut this box open, and what we're doing was we're gonna cut the side of the box so that this wire can go in and go into the ECU. So that's what it looks like. Super amazing, right? So ECU's in here. So basically we just need to cut like I'm gonna take the Dremel, and I'm just gonna cut very small and just test fit it, cut it, test fit it, and just go back and forth. But this white mark right here is where John marked it. He's like, just go ahead and cut it here. For slick, I kind of wish that they make a smaller box. I'm sure if I went to, I'm sure we can find a smaller box, because it'd be nice to get a box that's a bit more slimmer. You can see this box here is pretty big. Like, we can honestly knock like 1 inch off. So maybe in the future, hopefully we can get like a smaller box. Like all this right here, like this right here, we don't need a handle. Honestly, the handle is not needed, and this box could be a little bit more slimmer. This box here does come with layers of foam. So that's the main one. And then there's like 3 pieces of the small one. I went ahead and took one of the piece off already. There's actually a few. So there's one skinny, and then 3 of this size, which I took one out already. So this one is glued on here, and we just need to do like a quick U-notch. I don't think we need to go all the way down here to the ridge. So maybe just this tab here, or maybe just a little bit down there. So I'm trying to think out which tool do I want to use. Maybe I'll use this tool right here. I got this little guy here. I forgot what these guys are called, but this one here is made for cutting plastic. Here we go, first cut. got 2 cuts vertical. I'll just go ahead and cut one like right here. I might do it the size of this blade here, the width of the blade. I think I made it a little bit bigger than I wanted, but it's all good. Not that bad actually. So that's what it looks like. Let me go try real quick. See, I'm not gonna put the foam in yet, but so that's what it looks like. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect, guys. Not sure if you guys can see it, but that's like, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, let me go ahead and actually put the foam in. I don't think I'm gonna put any insulation at all. I might put some wire loom, cut a wire loom and just slit it right here. But that's solid. These are those numbers that's usually on the wire harness. I just kept them in here just for a future reference. So the ECU on the wire, when it goes in, the ECU is gonna have to turn this way, facing down, which is totally fine, no big deal. Make sure you hear it click, guys. Click. All right, all 4 ECU, all 4 plugs are in. Ta-da! Boom! That's it. Look at that. It looks really odd, you know, being a little black box right there, but people's gonna ask you, hey, what's in that black box? You can see it doesn't really move. I mean, it might rattle a little bit, and I can probably get like a tie down or something, but for the most part, it's not gonna slide down and touch the engine or the exhaust manifold or anything, but that's nice the way it is. I might maybe I'll find some rubber padding and put it on the bottom of the box just to prevent it from making any kind of rattling noise. For the most part, it's nice. There's a few vapor metal line that comes out, and that originally goes into the charcoal canister when you run the 3.0, and you just go ahead and cut that line down because you don't need that no more. So I have that cut down, so it's out of the way. Sweet, that looks nice, man. So let me go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Maybe I'll put some wire loom down here just to give it some protection, but for the most part, that was easy enough. It's all nice. We'll go ahead and put some nice stickers right here, 5EZE or something. This right here is the DIY one-man bleeding system. So if you guys don't know how to bleed brakes or a clutch slave or the concept of it, you basically have to press the pedal, and then one person has to open the nipple on the other end and then let the air out and then close it back, and then the other guy can start pumping it. But if you have a one-man bleed system, this is super easy. Just a bottle, cut the cap so that a tube can fit in. I forgot what size it is. I think it's a quarter or something like that, but you want the tube big enough or snug enough just to go over the nipple. So what you do is you fill it up with some brake fluid. You don't want the tube sucking air. It needs to be sucking at least something, and that's brake fluid. That's clean brake fluid. So make sure it's all the way down, and then what you do is you put this. You'll open up you'll open up the nipple on the slave cylinder, shove this in there, and then you can go into the truck and start pumping on the clutch pedal. And what that would do is that every time you pump it, it'll push out the air, and then when you release it, it doesn't suck any air because there's nothing for it to suck because it's being vacuumed. You're creating a vacuum style. The only thing you have to keep your eyes on is that on the engine bay where you pour your new fluid, make sure that doesn't run low, or else you're gonna introduce fresh air into the line. So that's basically how I do it. If you guys are installing a new master cylinder, I made a video a couple years ago where I told you guys I was having problem bleeding it, and the reason was because I was parked at a uphill. My nose was up, and these system, you have to have them pointed kind of downward. So right now I shouldn't have any issue bleeding it because I haven't, this is a brand new, or this isn't a brand new, there's still fluid in the system. But if you guys are installing a fresh slave cylinder and a fresh MC, Keep that in mind. Have your truck parked nose down slightly, all right? So I'm gonna go do this. I'm not gonna film myself doing it because it's very tight over here at the passenger side. I got my freezer, which is kind of in the way. I got the bleed system set up. It's bleeding really nice right now. I'm pumping it. Right now, we're flushing all the old stuff out. Keep your eyes on this. Like after every 2 or 3 pumps, come back out or have another person keep an eye on it. You don't want to let it run dry, because if it runs dry, then air system goes into the system and then you got to do it all over again. We're going to bleed this. I'm probably going to go ahead and use this whole bottle because I want to get it really fresh. I want some fresh fluid in there. And don't let this stuff drip onto your vehicle, because the brake fluid can eat paint and stuff like that. So let me go grab some more towels. Alright, so we went ahead and bled the clutch system. The pedal feels super smooth because, like I said, we went ahead and put a new throwout bearing and then also a new slave cylinder. The NC is still good. There was no need to replace that, but it feels really good right now. We'll wait till we get the vehicle, wait till we get the truck started. We'll take it for a test drive. If it doesn't feel right or if it needs to be bled more, then we'll go ahead and do that. But so far, it's good. Make sure you check your fluid level. And we are all good to go here. My last vlog, we talked about how I forgot or I lost one of the inspection cover for the flywheel. Well, guess what? I was looking through the bins and it was all the way covered in the bottom. So this is the flywheel cover for the bottom of the bell housing. If you don't have this, it's not a big problem, but your flywheel will be exposed, and it's just nice to put this back on. So here's what the 3.4 looks like. This bolts onto a 3.4 transmission, which is different. It's not gonna fit in there no more, and that's the 3.0. So the one that you're seeing, this the one that you're seeing right now, this one here is the 3.0, and then you can see how the 3.0 goes way up here, and this is the 3.4. So when you guys are gutting your 3.0, if you don't keep this thing toy only swap, they sell this for like 50 bucks, which is pretty crazy. But the 3.4 don't need trash. All right, everyone, so I got that finished. I got the bottom of the flywheel inspection cover finished, got that installed back in there. And then I also got the inspection cover right where on the passenger side fender where it covers the starter. I got that put on because we don't need to access it anymore. So the last few things I want to do is just make sure everything's good. Hot wire is hooked up right now, and then negative wire is not hooked up. If I was to touch it, it will get power. Evac box is all set up. This is the brake booster pressure switch thingy. That's all cut. You can use the 3.0, and then you just cut the original hose to the right size. Vacuum lines are good. Heater hoses are good. Everything's all good. I went ahead and did a little modification right here. This bracket, you guys see, there's a metal line, and then there's another metal line, and then there's another small metal line. That small metal line was a hose from here to here that connects to this one over here, the fuel pressure regulator. So I just went ahead and ran one long hose. And then also this hose here was the one that goes down to the valve cover, and then it connects to the tube here. So there's one that goes like from here to the metal tube and then connects to this piece. So I just went ahead and bypassed that. So the only one I kept was this one here. Honestly, I can run it I could run it 2 from here and delete this whole thing here, and that one goes to the bottom of this right here. But this hose wasn't long enough, so I just decided to keep that. So that's just some stuff, less connection, more solid. Heater hose is good. This is the fuel pressure, the fuel return line. It goes from down there, and then I put a little bracket here, just so that it's out of from the hot heat down here. And then it goes to the metal hard line right here. Pretty simple. All right. This hose here goes to the hood, windshield wiper fluid. So everything's all good. This is a 3.4 fuel line. I did went ahead and wrap this section here with heat tape just for the heck of it. Fuse box, ECU box, igniters, all nice and solid. AFM is good. We have a lot of space down here. So this whole space here, I can really, if I want to do something, I can build like a box or something, but we'll keep that empty because this is easy to access your headlights and stuff. And that's pretty much it. Coil packs, spark plugs are new. New engine coolant temperature. I got a new PCV valve hose. This is a so this is a PCV from Toyota, and this is also an OEM hose from Toyota as well. So everything is all nice and new. And then we have the coolant line that goes to the throttle body, and then the other one that goes down there. Those are all new. So it's always good to replace those coolant hoses. There's a vacuum nipple right here. You just go ahead and cap that off. That gets blocked off. Throttle cable. This plate right here, once you mount this up, you have to bend this plate. So just take your hammer and hammer it. Hammer like 1 or 2 hammer, and then just keep adjusting it until it gets the right tension. Because this plate here is more like upright, and you have to bend it this way. So bend it, test it, bend it, test it. And the reason is because the 3.0 cable is slightly shorter, but once you bend it, it's perfect. No AC, no ABS, no ADD system, no cruise control. This truck did come with cruise control. I went ahead and deleted it. Right here there was 3 cables that came out of here with 3 plugs. I just went ahead and cut those plugs, and then I wrapped them up in tape, so it's all simple and clean. So lots of free room over here. All right, this is the toy only swap battery tray, along with the toy only swap EVAP box. If you don't have an EVAP box, you can buy the battery tray, which is like just the battery tray itself. I think it's $100 for the whole setup, battery and the EVAP, and I think the battery tray was like only 70 or something like that. New alternator, new fan clutch, new water pump, new timing belt. Everything's all new. We're just waiting for the cam sensor. Once that's in, we'll cover it up, put the radiator in. Radiator comes in tomorrow. Put the new belts, power steering and AC belt, adjust it, add coolant, and then do the exhaust. The exhaust is the last stuff that we have to do. That's the big thing. Once we're done with the exhaust, then we just need to do these 2 items and we're good to go. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Pretty stoked for tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last final piece that we're waiting for the mail, and we should have it first start this Saturday or Sunday. Catch you guys next time.